So I've had a couple issues with the recent cold weather we've been getting in Austin, Texas. So this was a hose bib, and actually now it's a supply line. This is PEX in here. This is also PEX, and it kind of goes down, and insulated PEX goes into that hose. I'll show you real quick. Kind of stays outside, so if it gets really, really cold, this gets exposed, and it kind of goes into the actually up underneath this staircase and then into this bathroom facility here. It's also a hot water heater out here that has some freeze risk as well. It won't freeze inside, but these exposed pipes can freeze. I also have stuff under here that can freeze. So what I decided to do was I have a weather station up there. Try to zoom in on that feeds in over the internet, and I basically made it so when that hits 32 degrees, I turned some heaters on underneath there, some 250 watt incandescent shop lights, keep some heat underneath the P-trap and everything. And then inside of here, I'm gonna set this up right now. I set up a drip system, which I'm gonna put together and show you. Okay, so here's my setup. So this is just a normal sink here, and I'll get up to that in a minute. I just put this kind of back together since I don't use it in the summer. But I basically put a T off of this compression joint. So that goes up to the sink, and then this T, this is what feeds off my system. So I'm into compression, and then I ended up finding this valve, this big valve here, which is all NPT, unfortunately. So you can see it's like NPT, I think 3/4 inch, which is like literally the smallest one I could find. 50, 60 bucks on Amazon. And it's an always closed spring, although you can get it the other way around. But basically I had to adapt compression back to NPT, or to NPT through this little adapter. Then I put the 3/4 inch NPT in, then I gave myself a little bit more room and then adapted it, well actually I kept it NPT at this point. And then I just put a normal hose bib valve in, so I can shut it off in multiple parts if I'm chasing a leak. And then I put just again on the end of the hose, this is for a drip irrigation system, but it's a pressure regulator. It goes down to 25 PSI because my water pressure in the house is probably closer to 75, maybe 80 at max. And then it goes to your standard drip system that you would use to drip for plants, which really I think these don't want much more than 40 PSI. If I did it at 70, I'd probably just blow these things off because they're just like a nipple. And then this is just your kind of plastic drip hose. And then it goes up here, and then I have adjustable drip. So if I know it's gonna be super cold, I can open it up. You can see this is just your standard tea stuff, but at 25 PSI with minimal flow, which because I have that sprinkler valve, or sorry, the hose valve kind of closed down. And then you can see this is just an electronic AC valve, which makes this really, really easy for home automation. And again, remember, it's an always closed, but you can get an always open. And then basically, if you turn the power on, and this is just a Miros Apple HomeKit power adapter, but if I turn it on, actually here now this spring is opening this valve. So now we come up here and you can see that we're dripping. And again, remember, I can increase the rate of drip however I want, and I can unfortunately I kind of need two hands because the whole thing's spinning, but there we go. You get the idea. And if they shut it off, now the spring will automatically close. So it will fail close. So if you lose power, you got a problem, but it draws such minimal power that I actually have a little battery pack. So and it's gonna take a while to freeze. So as long as somebody's home that can put a battery on it, we'd be okay. But now it's closed, so obviously no problem. Okay, so for the weather station, I use just a kind of generic weather station I got on Amazon, and it feeds to a weather underground station, which is here. So like right now, it's brutally hot. So that gets it sort of published on the internet. And then I have a HomeBridge, which is actually where almost everything gets into HomeKit if it's not natively HomeKit. So I gotta log in through a reverse proxy here. And then I have my HomeBridge server here. And I have a bunch of plugins, but the plugin I'm using, which I don't recall the name of, is this HomeBridge Weather Plus here. So that basically now publishes into my home, Apple Home or whatever. So you can see here, I have the climate is at 100 degrees here, humidity, air quality, etc. So that's how that's being fed in. So here I used controller for HomeKit to create a automation that says when that weather station goes below 31.1 to turn on the scene freezing, which is a scene in Apple HomeKit. Here's what freezing looks like, but basically this is actually what turns it off. So it's above freeze. Once it goes above 33, then we're going to turn off internal hot water pump circulator for my house. But this anti-freeze bathroom turn on is what will turn on and off based on the temperature. It also turns the heater on inside of my bathroom, and then those under sink heat, and then a pool heater as well.